What do the Judaic concepts of monotheism and the soul reinforce about the significance of existence, life? Judaism did more than expand upon the Western idea concerning the size of the causative force. It carried with it the concept of eternity being within reach of all humans, the idea that all humans have a soul which in turn is tied to eternity, provided a whole new way of looking at the individual. Now life, the individual, was not just important, but rather the individual was important because the individual was tied to eternity. How this was important was not understood. It was understood, however, that a tie to eternity would most probably not occur unless there was a significant reason. Now, life in the West was beginning to take on some significance in terms of sensing this to be true. In short, life was beginning to have value, and the possibilities were beginning to open up to the idea that the value could be important to the causative force herself, itself, himself, God. As we increase this idea regarding how big our universe is, and in turn how big our Creator is, we enlarge what we view as the space we live within. This is important, for we as humans think big. For most people, how big we think depends on the size of the room we have to work within. Large, spacious, open rooms tend to foster large ideas. Granted, people are capable of thinking big in small rooms, but this takes the ability to go inward. Again, however, the size of the inner space a person sees when they look inward depends upon what they view in their room to be. The room one views when looking inward is what is called the perception we have of ourselves. If we view ourselves as not having significance to other people, to the environment, to the causative force, God, then we tend to think small. People with small perceptions of their significance are little people with self-serving agendas and abusive behaviors. In other words, little narcissists. On the other hand, if we view ourselves as having significance to others, to the environment, to the causative force, or God, then we tend to think big. People with big perceptions of their significance are big people with universal agendas and compassionate behaviors. What significance do Judaic concepts of monotheism and the soul have to us as individuals? We as individuals, we seeing our existence in eternity based upon our present actions. Humanitarian behavior was because not just humanitarian, but logical. Judaism did not have the rational, logical explanation regarding the why behind how or why our existence in eternity was tied to our present physical actions. This understanding was beyond human logic for that point of our history. Our understanding of the universe was limited, and a better technical understanding of our universe was needed in order to develop the understanding regarding how our actions in today's life could affect our existence after life. This section regarding religions and their validification of panentheism has to do with the size or location even of the causative force. Panentheism is not specifically a religion per se. It is just a description of what religions call the size of God, the causative force. Panentheism simply says religions diminish the size of the causative force. I would say by becoming exclusivist. The causative force is truly omnipresent, as all major religions of the world have been preaching but not practicing. The causative force is everywhere, and that means the universe is in her, him, it. You are inside the causative force herself. Like a child in the womb of its mother. A good analogy. Understanding why we have been separated, isolated, dissociated from the causative force will become clear after we have left this religious matrix and move on to the science matrix. The question now, however, is what effects do the Judaic concepts bring to us as individuals? They bring to us the concept of eternal life. Not just for some, but for all. Eternal life for all individuals. All humans are equal, for all humans are not human but the soul. All humans come from the same place, are here for a common reason, will return to the same place. And just where would that place exist? If the causative force transcends the universe, the answer would be uncertain. If the causative force, on the other hand, is all present, omnipresent, then there is but one place for which and to which an eternal soul, spirit, could appear to travel, and that would be from and into the arms of the causative force herself. What do the Judaic concepts of monotheism and the soul imply about our significance in eternity? Eternity existing outside our universe implies the possibility of the significance beyond the universe. The concept of the soul being tied directly to this eternity implies we have a significance tied directly to eternity itself. Humans as far back as 1500 BC, see Hinduism, expanded the possibility of their significance into eternity itself. Judaism played a key part in providing the bridge for the concept to spread to the other half of the world, to the West. The concept of significance being directly tied to eternity elevated our perception of our importance, expanded immensely our view of existence, for now existence was no longer confined by the boundaries of our universe. Now humankind was able to begin thinking in terms of belonging to the whole universe rather than just our planet or our solar system. Through an understanding of the source of the soul and the place to which a soul travels after death, we provided a view of ourselves capable of withstanding any discoveries we might make through the field of science, which was to evolve later in history. Science was not to become a significant influence in our society for over 2,500 years. Why the need to prepare for it now? The concept of monotheism, the soul, and eternal life were ideas that would need time to expand throughout the Western world. These concepts would need time to marinate in a kettle of tradition and culture. Tradition and culture themselves needed time to evolve and age. The concepts, traditions, and culture needed time to become integrated part of our society worldwide. The direction we took as a species in terms of the perception we had of ourselves, our universe, and a causative force was just one of many that could have taken place. It was, however, one that provided a continually expanding perception of the size and or location of the causative force, as well as a continually expanding perception of our potential both individually as a species regarding life in our universe, as well as beyond the boundaries of our universe, however abstract of a notion that may be.